Welcome to the Review Lounge. We are back. We are your hosts. I'm Jay.
I'm Jen.
And for those of you who have been following us, you would notice that we didn't post anything last week, and that is because we were on vacation in Florida. That's right. We took a couple of days off just to have some fun in the sun and, you know, play in the sand and the beaches.
Yes.
Yep. And so, but we are back now, and we're going to get right into it because there's some news we figured we'd share with you guys. A couple of things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about there's been some news on the Halo TV series.
Yes.
That's going to be beginning production soon, as well as the Witcher TV series.
There's been chatter.
Yes, some rumors, if you will.
Rumor mill has been going.
It's been milling.
It's been milling.
And there's also, I mean, it's not so much news, but there's some rumors floating around and stuff like that regarding Godzilla vs. Kong.
Okay.
So let's get right into it. We will start with the Halo stuff. So take it away.
Well, Halo, as we all know, or in some cases maybe you don't know, they are turning it into a TV series. Much anticipated, long awaited, something either movie or TV related.
Right.
So I guess they're going the TV route, which is fine as long as they do it right.
Exactly.
They have some rather large shoes to fill in many ways.
Yes.
And here's to hoping that comes to pass, because there's the fan base is so set that it's going to be hard to.
Well, Halo's got a really strong built-in fan base, and they are loyal as all get out, like Halo fans. And I know because I'm one of them.
So am I. I played all of them.
Like I said, only midnight release I ever went to. I went to after a 10-hour workday. I went straight to standing in line for a midnight release was for Halo 3.
Halo 3. Yeah.
So yes, the Halo fan base is very hardcore, and rightfully so. It's a great series and stuff. So hopefully the television series adaptation will live up to those standards. But what did you find out?
I did a little reading up on it, and they haven't started production yet. It's actually going to start either late fall, early winter this year in Budapest.
Okay.
So they've got that going. They have cast Master Chief and Dr. Halsey / Cortana.
Okay.
The one they did for the Master Chief, I'm not familiar with his work. I know he was in a couple of shows like Orange is the New Black.
He was also in Skyscraper with Dwayne Johnson.
Skyscraper. He was?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
See, I didn't even.
He was in Skyscraper with Dwayne Johnson.
Okay, his name is Pablo Schreiber.
Yep.
But apparently he's like 6'5", so he's a very tall gentleman. Yeah. So I guess he fit the part. And Natasha McElhone. Sorry if I slaughtered that, but that's how it's phonetic.
Okay.
But she is playing Dr. Halsey and Cortana, and actually we'll probably hear her more than see her.
Right.
For the Cortana part, but she was in that show with Kiefer Sutherland, the President show. 24? No. The
I know which one you're talking about. He was.
I'm having a brain fart.
Yes.
She plays his wife.
Oh, okay, that was the wife.
Show.
She was the
wife.
wife.
Long hair, really pretty girl.
Okay.
But at any rate, it's going to be 9 one-hour episodes.
Okay, cool.
For at least for the first season.
Right.
And Steven Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment is producing.
Nice.
The series, so that's a plus in their favor.
Well, we know the visual effects will be on point.
Yeah. As well as developer 343. They can't not be involved.
Right.
I mean, that's a given.
Right.
One thing I did find out was that when they, not to fall in the same hellhole as Game of Thrones with the bad writing, they did decide to go with a writer who is not familiar or known for sci-fi writing.
Oh.
They purposely, or big battle movies, they purposely chose someone to ensure they get underneath the, quote, armor of the Spartans. So I think they're going to try and make it more...
A lot of character development.
A lot of character development. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting...
That's an interesting
tidbit of
move.
information.
Yeah, that's an
So
interesting.
I hope
because that's either going to work really, really well.
Yeah.
Or it's going to bomb really, really bad.
Yeah.
But we don't know, and
Yeah.
hopefully the writer is good, and their non-battle sci-fi take on it will enhance the story.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
They have the story details locked down, so they know what they want to write about. But we've been assured that the new story, because they're not going to take off from the games or the Halo ring or anything like that. But they've assured that the new story is, quote, incredibly respectful of the canon of Halo.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. They are going to touch on Chief's origins.
Okay.
How he became Master Chief. They're going to touch on his conscription into the Spartan program.
Okay.
They're going to...
I'm going to assume, since it's only 9 episodes, that those will probably be flashbacks that we're gonna,
I would assume.
We're going to get
at least
that
the early parts
yeah.
of his, how he developed and became the Chief. And then Chief's first contact with the Covenant.
Oh, that would be interesting.
So I think that's supposed to be all covered in the first season. So
all right.
We'll see how...
I'm hopeful.
I'm
hopeful.
Too.
I have some trepidation because historically, video games have not translated to TV series or movies well.
Right.
With the exception of, I think, 1 or 2, they really haven't done well. And I have my own theory on that, and we can get into that at a later time. But so I there is that fear in the back of my head that but at the same time, based on what you're telling me, I'm hopeful. It sounds like it could go over really well.
They've touched on making Halo related things with actual people before. They had Forward Unto Dawn, which I really enjoyed.
Right.
He was only in for the last 20 minutes of the movie, but the preface of it was really good, I think.
Yeah, and hopefully, like a franchise like Halo or Gears of War, which there's also been talk about doing a film adaptation of. The stories are just so well out of the game that they could translate to, you would think, film or TV series rather naturally, because the stories are complex and very in-depth and a lot of character development. However, other franchises have also started out as games that were really good with all those attributes, but it didn't translate to film either because the film producers were trying to retell the game or the film producers went completely away from game canon. And a good example would be the Lara Croft stuff, but there was also the Wing Commander movie, the Doom movie, the Assassin's Creed movie, Resident Evil movies, none of which have gone over really well with their particular fan base.
Well, like you said,
we'll have to wait and see, but
shoes.
Keeping my fingers crossed because I am a Halo, fanboy. So
one additional piece, real quick, they also are touching on a few Spartans that we know of. In addition to Master Chief, they have Spartan Vanek 134. They have Spartan Riz. I think it was 028, and I guess those are their numbers.
Yeah.
And then Spartan Kai 125, and they're also introducing an all-new, deadly Spartan super soldier.
Interesting.
I don't know who that's going to be.
Yeah, interesting.
So we'll see. We'll have to
keeping my fingers crossed on this one. As more
crossed.
information comes out, obviously we'll discuss it as we get a better picture of how this thing is shaping up. But production
keep everyone in the loop.
Production scheduled to begin this fall or winter in Budapest, and hopefully good things come of this. Like I said, I'm keeping my fingers crossed on this one because I'm hoping they really do it well. What else? What other news do we got?
We got The Witcher.
The Witcher. That's one of your favorite games.
It is one of my favorite games. I love The Witcher. I love the games, although sadly, this TV series is not going to be based on the game. It's going to be based on the book.
Okay. Which
I have not read. I probably should. if I really wanted to get into the nitty-gritty of all the characters, that was one thing that I first looked for. I said, oh, it's going to be based on the game and, all the characters, because it's the first thing I saw was like, wait, Vesemir's not in it, this person's not in it, this person's not in it, what is going on?
Right.
So
you can say that, by the way,
I know.
We can bleep it out.
I know.
But
I don't... There you go.
We'll just bleep it out. But go ahead, continue.
But it's going to be a Netflix original series.
Okay.
They are, I think it's post-production at this point.
Okay. Yes, because they did release some teasers I've seen
they've
for
had
it.
teasers and some videos out and some information as to what they're going to be covering in the first season. Okay. But it's coming out late this year. So I'm thinking like November, December-ish, whatever. No exact date yet, but like I said, they're covering it on the book series, not the game. Henry Cavill is playing my Geralt of Rivia. He is spot on in looks. We'll have to see how he is in actual portrayal of the character.
Okay.
But this is what concerns me about this whole thing, is because when you play the games, you have these characters in your mind of what they look like in the game. Mm-hmm. These two girls look nothing like.
What girls? You want you to like the
I'm going to.
Okay.
I was getting there. The two actresses they have chosen to portray Yennefer and Ciri look nothing like Yennefer and Ciri from the games. Okay. So that's one thing at least I know I'm going to have a hard time as I watch this progress, this series progress, because you get used to those characters, and what they look like, and then you have these, to me, no-name actresses who are portraying these rather large, and there are going to be main characters. It's going to be Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri are the three main characters of the entire series. Oh, okay. So we'll have to see, but they have. Anya Chalotra playing Yennefer, and Freya Allen playing Ciri. And I have no idea who either one of those people are. If you've been in other stuff that I haven't seen, I apologize, but we'll see. We'll see as far as that goes. But it's going to focus on Geralt. Geralt, if you're not familiar with the series, is a monster hunter, but he's a witcher. He's a I don't know if you want to call it like a male warlock.
I guess.
Or a male witch.
Yeah.
Something to that effect. A witcher. But he's a monster hunter who struggles to find his place in the world. And it's covering his adventures and the monsters he comes up against. There's no real specific villain I'm reading that's going to be in this series. I'm sure you're going to have some bad people come up.
Right.
Because he does run into bad people. But the majority of it, from what I read, is going to be him, traversing this world that he lives in and not belonging. Witchers are a very hated breed, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
So no matter where he goes, he's talked about or hissed at or spit on or something to... But getting off topic, apart from Geralt, Yen and Ciri, like I said, are the two main characters of the series. So yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. But the one thing they did say is the characters that you're rooting for in the beginning of the series may not be the characters you're rooting for at the end of the series.
Interesting.
So I'm interested to see how they're going to flip-flop that around and how that plays out. So don't know many more details about it really, other than the teaser trailers that they've had out. They've had teaser trailers and pictures of Geralt looking really funky, especially around his eyes and things like that. And I could get into detail and go on about that all day, but we don't have time to do that. But needless to say, when he's using potions and things, he looks spot on.
Okay.
So that thing. And then the costumes also look pretty good.
Good.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see what happens.
Again, that's the same thing that I was saying about the Halo series is I always get nervous when I hear these things, because for as much as you want to see them as a live action film, video games don't have a good history of translating well into TV or movies.
I'm less nervous about Halo than I am about The Witcher.
Right. Yeah.
Only because it's just.
Right.
You know?
I get it.
But we'll see. We'll have to see how it goes.
Okay.
I'll keep you posted as if I come up any new information or tidbits that I feel it's worth sharing or venting about. So.
All right, and in our last bit of news, my personal fave is GVK, Godzilla vs. Kong, which is scheduled for a March 13th release of 2020. They've released a synopsis. Nothing that anybody who's been a fan of the Godzilla movies since Gareth Edwards' Godzilla 2014 came out wouldn't already know. Basically, they gave a little synopsis saying it's a time of titans and Monarch is investigating the Hollow Earth, and they come across stuff. I don't know if it's another creature or whatever that could throw everything, topsy-turvy. And if you saw Godzilla King of the Monsters at the end, there were a bunch of news clips that kind of alluded to that Godzilla's been keeping the other Titans in check since he defeated Ghidorah. And everybody's sort of moving towards Skull Island, which because Kong Skull Island is also part of the Godzilla Monsterverse. Everyone's sort of moving towards Skull Island because that seems to be the epicenter of the Titans and the Hollow Earth and everything, and Monarch's got a base set up there. But some of the rumors that have been going around recently is that somebody grabbed some stills, I guess, from one of the digital, because now that Godzilla King of the Monsters has been released digitally, someone grabbed some stills for some of these news clips at the end. And one of them alludes, one of these fake, news clips or newspaper clippings that you see in the end credits of Godzilla King of the Monsters, alludes to Monarch having built some mechanical thing to, I guess, sort of help keep the Titans in check, which has gotten the Godzilla fan community a buzz because that sounds an awful lot like Mechagodzilla, which has been one of Godzilla's classic foes from the 1960s.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting if that turns out to be the case. I can't see them throwing Mechagodzilla into a Godzilla vs. Kong movie. Only because you're setting it up as Godzilla vs. Kong. Why would you have some other, big baddie? But I could be wrong. It could be Godzilla fights Kong, they have a round or two where they go at it and then realize that this, Mechagodzilla is the bigger threat and both go after him. But I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about this. And the reason,
a lot of nervous stuff going on.
Well, the reason why I'm nervous about this is as a Godzilla fan is I know that this Godzilla vs. Kong is the last of the movies that are going to be made under the current license that Warner Brothers Legendary has with Toho Productions. Toho are the ones who own the Godzilla rights and all the Mothra, Rodan, all of that. And Legendary Warner Brothers sort of licensed the right to use these characters in the movies, like Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla King of the Monsters. Godzilla vs. Kong is the last one that's covered under this license. After that, the license agreement expires in 2021. My concern is that they're going to set us up for Kong defeats Godzilla because and not from a movie storytelling standpoint doing this, but doing it because it frees them up to continue to make MonsterVerse movies with Kong versus this, Kong versus that, without having to spend the money to renew the Toho license. So, in other words, my fear is that they're going to kill Godzilla because of business dealings in the real world, not because of any story-driven anything. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I love Godzilla. And that's my biggest fear. My biggest fear is that Kong defeats Godzilla, not for any other reason other than because Warner Brothers Legendary doesn't want to renew a license. And that scares me. That scares me that they're setting us up for this. And so it would be interesting to see if they go the Mechagodzilla route. They might, simply because if this licensing agreement runs out afterwards they wouldn't be able to use anything from Toho. So, which includes Mechagodzilla, Godzilla, and all of those characters. So it'll be interesting to see, but that is my fear, as far as, you know, what I'm hearing about the Godzilla vs. Kong movie. But time will tell. I think the rumor also had it that we might be expecting some sort of teaser trailer for this around November, December. Since it's scheduled for a March release, we might see a teaser trailer for it around then. And then like a full-blown trailer, maybe some like during the Super Bowl or something like that. They'll drop a full-blown trailer. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. But that's the latest news on the Godzilla front. And I think that covers all of our latest news for now.
Yeah.
So thank you all for watching. We are back. Our vacation is sadly over, and we will be cranking out more of the videos. We will definitely have one for you next week. But remember to subscribe, hit the little notification bell, share the video. You can follow us on Twitter at review_lounge. You can also email us directly at thereviewloungeshow@gmail.com. We are also on Reddit. Well, we are on Facebook as well as Reddit. So yeah, so do any one of those things and become part of the family.
Click subscribe, comment.
Yes, and let us know that you care.
Yes.
Because we do.
Do some twits. We don't have enough twits.
Yes, tweet at us. Tweet at us. Be like, dude, get a new shirt or something. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next week. I gotta do my thing. See you guys next week on the Review Lounge.
Okay.
Peace.